Alafia, Aboro Boya Boshise. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Awo Ifa Korede Ifayemi. I'm an aspiring Babalawo with a passion for this tradition, and I'm on a mission to uplift and empower my community through it. In this video today, I'll be going over the first 16 of the 256 Odu Ifa, known as the 16 major Odu Ifa. And these Odu are foundational to the body of knowledge that is Ifa. And essentially, these first 16 Odu birth the other 240. And speaking of Odu, Odu esoterically connects to biological females and their wombs. So Odu is the womb, and it highlights the importance of, as well as the innate spiritual power of biological women. And that really can be a whole video on its own. So if Ifa has revealed you have a calling to be a Babalawo or Ianifa, then you are definitely going to need to memorize these first 16 Odu. And if you can do this prior to your initiation, then you'll definitely be ahead of the game because I did not have them memorized by the time that I initiated and got to Nigeria. And I'm now just at that point in my journey where I'm beginning to familiarize myself with these Odus. So I definitely want to be able to give you guys a head start. And even if you don't plan to initiate, if that's not your calling, if it's not something that you desire to do, and you just want to learn more about Ifa, this is a great video for you still as well. I'm not going to dive too deep into the mechanics of how you read it and what the lines necessarily mean because Odu is a language. Odu has so much depth, and I'm really just barely scratching the surface with this video. My goal is just to really familiarize you with these first 16 Odu and what they look like. And I'll give you a little bit of information about the Odu, but keep in mind, again, even the information that I'm giving about the Odu is just scratching the surface. These Odu, they really go so deep. But anywho, let's go ahead and get into the video. And this is going to go in order. And if you really study these Odu, you will see that they tell a story as you go through these first 16. But let's start with the first one. So we have Eji Ogbe. Eji Ogbe. So this is the first Odu, and this is the king of the Odu. And Eji Ogbe is the only Odu that does not have a nickname. So one thing you may notice is that the other Odu, they have their name, but then there's also like a second name they may go by. So I'll give you an example. The Odu Ogunda Osa, for example, and this is not one of the first 16, but this is just an Odu in general. Ogunda Osa is also sometimes called Ogunda Masa. So a lot of the Odu will have a nickname that they also go by. Eji Ogbe is the only one that doesn't. So Eji Ogbe describes balance in terms of alignment with your destiny, and it is strongly associated with Obatala, which Obatala is the king, right? The king of the Orisha. So number two, we have Oyeku Meji. Oyeku Meji. So Oyeku Meji is associated with death and darkness. And while Eji Ogbe speaks of expansion, Oyeku Meji speaks of contraction. So this Odu can also speak of blessings of wealth, family, peace, and protection. And it can also speak of premature death too. The third Odu is Iwori Meji. Iwori Meji. This Odu speaks of transformation. It also speaks of career success and envious people as a result of that. Number four, we have Odimeji. Odimeji. So Odimeji is esoterically connected to the female reproductive organs. So there's a lot of Yemaya energy in this Odu. It speaks to the need to be practical and have practical approaches in life. And it also speaks to blessings of long life and protection. So the fifth Odu, we have Irosun Meji. Irosun Meji. So this Odu speaks of arrogance and the need to adhere to advice given and the need to be humble. It also speaks of having ancestral support as well as success, long life, and happiness. The sixth Odu, we have Owanri Meji. Owanri Meji. So this Odu speaks of sudden change, victory over enemies, as well as achievement. So for number seven, we have Obara Meji. Obara Meji. And you're going to notice that all of these first 16 Odu have, well, with the exception of Ejiogbe, they all have Meji in them. So Meji in Yoruba means two, which again, I'm kind of getting into the mechanics, which I said I wasn't going to do, but just wanted to give that tidbit. So we have number seven, Obara Meji. So Obara Meji speaks to inner transformation, embodying Iwapwele for blessings, which Iwapwele is good character or gentle character. Iwarere actually means good character, but they essentially communicate that the same ideal, walking in benevolence and high character and integrity and morality. So Obara Meji speaks to the need to align with that for blessings, as well as potentially being in a state of confusion. So number eight, we have Okara Meji. Okara Meji. So Okan actually means the heart in Yoruba. So this is connected to the heart in a more symbolic and esoteric sense. There's a lot of Shango energy is strongly connected to this Odu. This Odu speaks of someone with leadership qualities, but also someone that has the disposition of being very emotionally volatile. It also speaks of a lot of blessings in this Odu, but enemies as well. So for number nine, we have Ogunda Meji. Ogunda Meji. So if you can hear it in the name, Ogun, Ogunda, this Odu is strongly connected to the Orisha Ogun, which I'm actually a child of Ogun. Ogun is on my head, Ogun no Batala. So Oguna Meji, it speaks of clearing obstacles and aligning with your destiny. Oguna Meji also speaks of the need to be transparent in your relationships, and it also speaks to business success. Ogun is known for being a hard worker, and he's also known for being the Orisha that clears the path. Number 10, we have Osameji. This is actually my favorite Odu. Osameji. So Osameji is very, very strongly connected to the Yami, divine feminine power, Oya, change and transformation, witchcraft. It also relates a lot to financial abundance, success in conflict resolution and public relations. And Osameji also speaks to the importance of women, which, if you can tell, that's something that I really like to highlight about this tradition because I really appreciate that this tradition does that. So number 11, we have Ikameji. Ikameji, which, and again, I'm an English speaker, so if any Yoruba speakers listen to this, forgive my pronunciations. But we have Ikameji, which is the number 11 Odu. So this speaks of the importance of recognizing your inner divinity. Ikameji also speaks of long life. It speaks of Egbe and Iyami are associated with this Odu, as well as enemies too. So for number 12, we have Oturupan Meji. Oturupan Meji, which speaks to an abundance of Ire, so Ire in different forms. Oshun and Egungun. Egungun is the Orisha of the ancestors, are associated with this Odu. And this Odu can also speak of potential diseases. So number 13, we have Oturameji. Oturameji. Oturameji speaks of success and peace. It speaks of Ofa Ashe, which is the power of the tongue, the power of spoken word. So Oturameji really reminds us to be careful of what we speak and to always speak good things and blessings and positivity over our lives and over ourselves so that we can see that manifested And Otora Meji is also connected to Obatala. And again, there are multiple Orisha that can be connected to an Odu. And like I said, I'm just giving a brief little tidbit, scratching the surface. All of these Odu go way deeper than what I'm giving in this video, and I really want to emphasize that. So for number 14, we have Irete Meji. Irete Meji. So this Odu speaks of stubbornness getting in the way of manifesting your destined blessing. So it speaks to a need to be more humble and be less stubborn and just be open to what others have to say and advice. It speaks to a need of being close to your Ori as well as close to Ifa. So number 15, we have Osameji. I mean, not Osa, Oshemeji. Osemeji. Forgive me. So Oshemeji. So similar to 13, Otorameji, Oshemeji speaks to the importance of creating abundance through your spoken word. Oshemeji also talks about not sacrificing your spiritual well-being for material gains. Oshemeji also speaks of a spouse as well, manifesting a spouse or being in alignment with your spouse or a spouse is coming. You may be blessed with a spouse soon. So number 16, we have Ofun Meji. Ofun Meji. So this again also speaks about praying abundance into existence for your life. It speaks about someone who has leadership capacity and is likely to experience a lot of honor and respect. It also speaks to supernatural things and experiences. So that is the 16 Odu, the 16 major Odu Ifa that you are definitely going to want to know. And I'll just go over them in order again. So we have Ejiobe, Oyekumeji, Iworimeji, Odimeji, Irosumeji, Owarimeji, Obarameji, Okanrameji, Ogundameji, Osameji, Ikameji, Oturapameji, Oturameji, Iretemeji, Oshemeji, and Ofumeji. So I would highly recommend if you are looking to initiate and be a practicing Babalawo or Ianifa one day, and definitely start to study these first 16 Odu and memorize them. I hope that you learned something in this video. I hope that it helped you. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I appreciate you for watching. Thank you.